All right, good morning from New York City. I'm Micah Jesse here for WHOSAY, and we are joined by the beautiful and talented Brianne Howey. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. We are live on Facebook right now, so if you guys have questions for Brianne, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. We have her here live, so we can ask questions live. But before we talk about your amazing role on Fox's The Exorcist, and all of your other projects, you're so busy. We want to talk about Scream Queens first. You started on two episodes, and people are obsessed with the show.
Yeah.
What was it like working on that?
That was super, super cool. That was my first time really working with prosthetics. I mean, spoiler alert, if you've seen the end of that season. I'm a totally, Freddy Krueger'd out. Total burn victim. And it was the first time I did a head cast is what they call it, where you go to Burbank, it's in California, and they take a mold of your face, and then that's how they create these weird skin grafts that then they place on you, and it takes hours. It was insane.
Did it hurt at all?
It didn't hurt, but I couldn't eat anything.
So you were just
just cranky. Yeah, super hangry the whole time.
How was it transitioning from going from a parody horror show to the real thing?
That's interesting. I think with both, you have to commit super hardcore. So in that sense, I think that's more how I see it. I just focus on that. And they're actually kind of similar. You have to just be super committed. You got to be 100%.
Awesome. And then you have wanted to be an actress for a long time. I read that you grew up in LA, but before moving to LA, you traveled around a lot.
Yeah.
You thought about maybe being a flight attendant.
Yeah, it seemed like so much fun. You're a kid, constantly on airplanes. You see these women handing out food and drinks, and they get to go to all these fun places. And I was like, what's wrong with that?
I could so see you as a flight attendant, but I'm so glad you're not. Chilling. Okay, but you studied at NYU Tisch School. I mean, so you're not only beautiful, you're also smart. And you graduated in 2011 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Yeah.
So tell us about the move from Los Angeles to New York.
Yeah, so I visited NYU for the first time, I think in 7th grade. My mom had to come to New York for a business trip, and she pointed out NYU, and then that was it. From that moment forward, I was like, I know that's where I want to go.
So most people, when they see NYU, they're like, well, it doesn't have a campus. It's in the heart of the city. Going from LA, living in suburbia, how was that jumping into big city life?
It felt totally normal. I knew that that's where my heart was. I love New York so much, and I miss New York every day. I mean, I love living in LA, and I'm from Pasadena, so my whole family's there. But New York has a place in my heart.
Totally. And then you also studied improv, which is so important for acting and for just everyday life.
I think everybody should try it out. It's just a lot of yes and again staying committed and never negating anything, and they're just good life lessons.
I love that because I only made it to Improv 101, and that's the only thing I can tell you is yes and.
You have to yes and.
Yes, you can't ever say no. You just add on. You want to add balloons? I want to add confetti.
Right, yeah. You can't say, I'm eating a sandwich, and then they're like, no, that's ice cream.
No, it's a sandwich and French fries.
It's an ice cream sandwich.
Yes, it's all of that. You guys, we are live on Facebook right now, so be sure to ask Brianne questions.
Tune in, guys.
Yeah, we're here. Your first major role was in Horrible Bosses 2 with Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman. And
those guys, that was probably the most starstruck I've been. Sitting across from them, I think I was with them on their first day of shooting that, or at least the first week. So it was the very beginning. And in that, it's an interview scene. They're hiring people for their new company, and I'm sitting across from them in the scene, but that's also how I met them. And I was just like, holy cow, star-studded, these beautiful, talented men.
How do you have a poker face in that kind of situation?
You just have to. You're just nervous, and I think my go-to is just to smile a lot. I'm just like, yes.
That's not nervous at all.
No, totally
just
casual.
Smiling. What's Jennifer Aniston like in person? I feel like
They're all so sweet, and they all improvise a lot, actually. So that also, it always comes in handy.
Did they give you any advice since this was your first major role?
Not so much. Charlie Day was super sweet, though. He told me, he was like, you're gonna get that series regular role one day, and everything's gonna be fine. And then
here you are.
Here I am. Thanks, Charlie.
Totally. And then, of course, that leads us to The Exorcist.
Right.
This is so huge. People, just as you were coming in the elevator, you had some fans being like, I love this show. So you seem so excited about it.
Yeah. It's so cool. We're shooting in Chicago. There's 10 episodes, which I really like. It feels like a mini series. Like it's sort of like this cable show on a network. So it has the cinematic feel, which is wonderful. Our DP is super great. And we're doing episode 7 now. We are in the thick of it. It gets intense. Yeah, it's crazy.
So tell us, so you're studying ballet at Juilliard.
Yes.
And so what did you have to do to prepare for that?
Oh, I didn't have to.
Did you?
We actually, so what happens is you meet my character actually post car accident.
Okay.
So she is no longer, or she isn't currently a ballerina at that time. So she takes a leave of absence from Juilliard to recover at home. So in a way, I just had to be like kind of limber. I just had to like stretch a little bit.
Totally. And then, so what can people expect towards the end of the season?
Oh my God.
Without giving away
I know,
any spoiler alert.
I will say my character is the most cynical, the least religious. So you watch her sort of go on this, she has a little bit of a religious arc as she's in her early 20s trying to figure out like, what do I believe in? What is happening? But that's the same thing I think for all of the characters. Like every character has a moment where morally they have to decide like where they stand and what's true to them.
Mm-hmm. And what's true to you in terms of where you're going in the next decade of your career? What do you see? You've done some parody horror, you've done some real horror. Are there any other genres of acting that you'd love to get into? And also, this is a double question, are there any actors that you're just dying to work with? Because I believe in a secret. Put it out there.
Put it out there. What's so funny is I just watched War Dogs, and Miles Teller is coming to my mind. I would love to work with him. He also went to NYU. For me, it's just more about the project. It's less about the medium. I think I just want great quality, and that's what Exorcist was so cool. They're really grounded characters. It's kind of like a family drama in a way, with this added possession. Other than that, we're just your typical family. So, but yeah, I'd love to do movies and just stick with good, grounded stories and strong female characters.
Awesome. And you're going to Comic-Con later today,
I am.
which is exciting. You said you went to Comic-Con in San Diego, but this is your first time going to Comic-Con here in New York.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
So interesting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear and see on social media what you experience. I feel like it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to get into animated or kind of?
Yeah, I think doing voiceover would be really fun, and I've been told that people love doing that.
Yeah, you don't have to dress up for work. You could go into work wearing sweatpants and sweatshirts.
No hair and makeup.
No hair and makeup.
Which is actually kind of my character in The Exorcist, though, so it feels similar to voiceover work. I'm in my pajamas, especially in the pilot, no hair and makeup. She's sad.
I feel like you'd still be beautiful without hair and makeup. We learned that you are going to be starring with Jim Carrey.
Yes.
In, I want to make sure, I Am Dying Up Here.
Yes, I Am Dying Up Here.
So tell us about that. I heard that it's set in the 70s. It's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
And it's coming out sometime in 2017.
It'll be next year. But that show is so wonderful. It's on Showtime, so it's a cable show. And it takes place in the 70s, and it follows the lives of these stand-up comics, which is super fascinating because there are these really, really dark, tortured people. So it's a super dark comedy. And I play a waitress who works at the comedy club.
Very cool.
Yeah, and Melissa Leo runs the comedy club.
Awesome.
She's incredible.
And you have already started filming.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Are you wrapped
Not
yet?
done yet.
Not
No,
yet.
no.
So what was it like working with Jim Carrey? What has that experience been like? I feel like people know him from on screen, but kind of dying to know what he's like off screen. He's
definitely a little bit more serious, but also the subject matter was kind of serious. It's a heavy, especially with the pilot. The pilot's really heavy. But like seeing him at like table reads and dinners, he's goofy and fun.
Awesome.
But I was a little starstruck, yeah.
Awesome. And then as we wrap things up here on Facebook Live, feel free to send in some more questions. What are you going to do the rest of your time here in New York?
Oh my God, I wish I never had to leave New York. Go to Comic-Con, and then I'm back to Chicago tonight.
Okay, and then Chicago, I went for the first time just a few months ago. It's a lot like New York, but just the people are a bit different.
Yeah.
So what
more Midwest.
Yeah, what has it been like filming there? Are you filming all over the city?
Yeah, we really are, and that's also what's cool is we have a lot of wonderful exteriors, and we're shooting outside a lot, so you feel Chicago throughout it, and I think that's always that's really nice. Yeah, it's such a beautiful place.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we want to thank you, Brianne, for stopping by WHOSAY.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, and have fun at Comic-Con.
Thank you.
And thank you all for tuning in here on Facebook Live.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll talk with you soon. Bye.